Trailer 2 for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead just dropped, and oh my god, was it a beauty. So let's break it down. In the very first opening shot, we see a Lucky Boy, hamburgers, malts, Chinese food. I don't know if I'd be getting a hamburger the same place that does Chinese food, or Chinese food the same place that does hamburgers. To me, that seems a little odd. But as we move in, we see this is where actually Dave Bautista's character, Scott Ward, now works. We know he's ex-military, but here, you know, he's given his trade as a chef at this little diner before someone rocks up with an offer he cannot refuse. And that man is none other than Hunter Bly, the owner of Bly Casino. He's actually played by Hiroyuki Sanada, who we will be seeing in Mortal Kombat very soon as Scorpion, and right behind him there is kind of his muscle, his right hand man, you know, his mercenary, played by Garrett Dillahunt. This character's name is down as just Martin as of right now. We have heard as well in the live Q&A with Zack Snyder that Martin Dillahunt's character is going to be the kind of you know, adversary to the group. Obviously, apart from the zombies, they're the main threat, but he's going to be the kind of human threat, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try and screw them over to keep all the money for himself and Hunter at any possible opportunity he can. Anyway, they sit down to have a wee chat, and Hunter tells Scott, how would you like to make $50 million? This is where we see Scott look at him with a little crazed look in his eye. I think if anyone asked us that, our answers would all be yes, although I don't know if it'd be yes if we were all getting sent into a zombie quarantine zone. In the background of this diner scene as well, right at the start before Hunter comes in and starts talking to Scott, we actually hear the news on in the background in the TV behind Scott while he's cooking, and it sounds like they say as the zombie threat has now subsided, so it sounds like this is just, you know, a little time after the initial outbreak and they've walled Las Vegas off. It doesn't sound like it's been too long since Las Vegas has actually fallen and they've built the wall around it. I thought it was going to be set several years after, but I don't know, it still might be, because to me everything does look a little bit post-apocalyptic, and this whole area, even though there isn't zombies rampaging everywhere, doesn't look the best. It looks very run down and, you know, just decrepit and crappy looking. So even this place outside the wall looks a little bit post-apocalyptic, so I'm guessing this might just be pretty soon after the fall of Las Vegas. Anyway, moving on, we get that Apocalypse Now type shot to transition us into the next shot. We've seen this shot before, nothing else to really say about it apart from it looks very, very nice. Anyway, we see Vanderho walking up to who I believe is Scott Ward's house. I think this is going to be his little house, his little shack, and I believe Vanderho is walking up here to meet him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be an old war buddy, an old military buddy of Scott's. We then see Scott looking at his medal. I guess it's his anyway. It's smashed though for some reason. Maybe, you know, when he left the military it was on bad terms and he's thrown it away and he's just picking it back up for the first time again. But this medal is actually a Legion of Merit's medal. It's pretty much given out for like excellence, you know, in your post wherever you may be. And I think you have to be pretty high up in the military to get this, you know, like almost like general rank. So yeah, Scott's clearly very experienced in the military. He's been in there for a while, so he's going to be highly skilled, and that's probably why Hunter Bly comes to him to lead this team into the quarantine zone. And obviously he's had enough being a chef and wants some of that sweet moolah. Anyway, it looks like he gets pretty upset while looking at this medal, so it must bring him back some bad memories. I really do wonder what happened in his past there. Then we get a shot of Bly Casino, some dead bodies under some plastic there, and we do actually know that scientists, possibly from Area 1, have been coming in and taking samples of these bodies, as we seen in a live stream earlier on the week when they were teasing this event premiere for the Q&A with Zack Snyder and this new trailer dropping. So that plastic's probably been left over them from those Area 51 scientists, who are probably zombies themselves now. I'm sure they'll show up, you know, gowned up all in white sometime during the movie. Moving on, we see Scott roll out the plans for the vault. Obviously he's having a wee geeze at it and wondering who he can bring in to crack it. Don't worry, we'll get onto that more in a little minute. He then whips open his old box of army trinkets as we see a gun, you know, some straps in there, some handguns, some ammo, knives, all that kind of stuff. And I love the wee look he's got going on with his, you know, dad glass goggle things and his gun. He looks like a dad, but he looks like he'd kick your fucking ass, and I really like that. I really do like Batista as an actor. I think he's amazing as Drax, and I think he actually does have a lot more range than people give him credit for, and his comedic timing is absolutely brilliant. I think he's an absolutely great actor, and I can't wait to see him in this, because apparently there is a lot of depth to these characters, especially Scott and his daughter, played by Ella Purnell. That character's name is Kate. Anyway, we then see him moving on to this run-down looking warehouse where he rocks up, you know, looking typical American dad. I don't know, it's something about Batista, you just want to give him a hug. Anyway, Cruz is here, who we know he actually has had a previous relationship with. At first she doesn't look too happy to see him, but I think she's just taking the piss as they do go in for a hug. Maybe he says something to her like, do you fancy 20 million or something like that, and that's what gets her hopes up. But yeah, Cruz and Scott actually do have a history. Zack Snyder spoke about that in the Q&A during the event. So yeah, there will be a little bit of subtext between them two. We could see them rekindle, you know, get back together, or we could see one of them sacrifice themselves for the other. Who knows? We then see them chilling out on top of all of these old banger cars as they have a little chat, and you know, Scott's trying to convince her to maybe join his team for this mission, as he says, think about it, think about all those people we saved. Then as he's saying this, we get shots of some of the cast of the team, so I'll just go through them. We see Omari Hardwick up and close and personal. He's looking badass. I don't know what he's scouting out here, maybe it's Area 51 or something. I doubt they'd let him get that close. He actually looks like he might be in the same area as Scott and Cruz, but yeah, he's looking sick. You know, Vanderhoof looks like he's going to be a really awesome character, and I can't wait to see him in action. We see him digging something up as well. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe he buried his army stuff or something like that to forget it, so he's digging it back up. Or maybe he's digging up that badass buzzsaw weapon we see him with. We also see Raul Castillo, who plays Mikey Guzman, who Zack actually explained was just a really good zombie killer. So I don't know how he's got that reputation, and how Scott Ward knows about him to recruit him, or maybe Hunter Bly knows about him to recruit him. But apparently he's just a really great zombie killer, and he looks like he has fun while he does it, so that's pretty cool. We then see Tig Notaro filling up her helicopter with some fuel. She plays, who is again Marianne Peters. She's obviously replacing Chris D'Elia's character after all the kerfuffle with him. So yeah, she looks good. I heard she's funny. I've never heard of her before this, but apparently she's a comedian. So yeah, I'm keen to see what she's like in the role. I think they had to CGI her into a lot of the shots, because they obviously done reshoots with her. With her, but in all the shots that I've seen her in, they look great. Even when she's with other people, she doesn't stand out or look stupid or anything like that. It doesn't look CGI, so yeah, it's good to see that she looks okay there. Then we see Matthias Schweighöfer's character Ludwig Dieter. He's going to be the safe cracker of the team. He's the one that's recruited to actually crack the safe itself and get the team in there. And Zack Snyder said in the Q&A that the prequel movie for Army of the Dead is actually going to explore his origins and how he becomes obsessed with like getting into safes and stuff like that, which is really cool. I'm looking forward to that as well. We get a shot of Ella Purnell, Kate Ward, you know, Scott's daughter. She's like a volunteer, like a zombie quarantine zone volunteer or something like that, it says on her t-shirt, so that's interesting. I'm keen to find out more about that. And we're not too sure yet how she actually ends up coming along on this mission. Zack Snyder says we will find out, obviously, but he didn't want to go into it too much during the event. He's keeping that one hush hush. Anyway, back to the conversation Scott and Cruz are having, because while we're seeing all these shots of the team members, they say something really, really interesting. So he was saying, you know, how we saved all those people. What if just once, you know, we do something for us? Because he says, what we did, we saved all those people. Where did it get us? You know, he's flipping burgers, so obviously he's not happy with that. Now he's saying, look, we've got an opportunity to be selfish for once, do something for ourselves. Let's take this mission on and go get this fucking money. Obviously, Cruz agrees as she joins, as we see a nice little shot of all the team rocking up to this warehouse again. It seems to be the meeting point for everyone as they meet Hunter Bly, as he unveils a little miniature of his, hotel tower casino. And this is obviously going to be a little bit of a Ocean's 11 scene, a little team up scene where they plan out the heist and stuff like that. Really, really going to be cool to see that, merging a heist movie with zombie movie. Just seems awesome to me, and I can't wait to see how they handle it. We then see them getting armed up a little bit with Mikey Guzman is, I believe it's an AK or something like that. And then we see even better Vanderhoof with his buzzsaw. It's where his car was open with the boot in the desert earlier, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's buried this, and it looks like he actually painted it up to be a zombie killer, so maybe him and Batista were actually posted in Las Vegas when it fell and they helped save a bunch of people, but since have retired or just left because it was shit and they were traumatized by it, and now they're going back in. And just a cool little Easter egg, Vanderhoof actually has like an Omega symbol on his left pec there, you can see, branded into him. So yeah, just a cool little Snyderverse Easter egg there. I'm sure all of the big Snyder fans will love that. We then hear Hunter Bly tell us that 200 million is hidden under the Las Vegas Strip in this vault. So yes, they want to get into it. And we see Matthias Schweighöfer's character, Ludwig Dieter, looking very excited. He's obviously got a thing for vaults and he loves cracking them, so he's buzzing to have a go at this one, and it looks like he gets into it with relative ease as the door swings open for the team. And then, as again we've seen this before, we see the Snyder cut up on the left and those gold AKs on the right. I really hope they take those gold AKs and use them against the zombies. I think that'd be really cool. We also see some military deploying, and I believe this is Area 51. I think they are coming out of Area 51 here and heading for the quarantine zone themselves. We do see more soldiers involved later on in the trailer, so we'll touch on them again and I'll link them back and explain what I think they're doing and stuff like that. Anyway, we get another shot of Hunter Bly looking sleazy as always, the bad businessman type, as he says, it should be a routine in and out, and as we know, it's not going to be that. Then we see the team making their way through the wall of shipping containers into Las Vegas, into the Las Vegas quarantine zone. We see them all together, looking tense, guns up, exchanging looks. It's going to be a pretty intense moment as those doors fly open and they head out into zombie-filled Las Vegas for the first time for quite a lot of them. But for one of them, this seems pretty familiar. This is Nora Arenzender's character, Lily, I believe her name is, and she's going to be the team's guide into the quarantine zone. She's like one of the few people who actually knows their way through the wall and how to break in, without the military knowing and stuff like that, and she's going to guide them through the strip into where they need to go, basically. And we get a really cool shot of them all busting out of the container looking badass as hell as they head in, and we get that cool ass shot of the sea of shamblers. That is just such a sick shot, and it's a cool ass throwback to Dawn of the Dead. And I do want to talk a bit about the zombies in this film, because holy shit have we learned a lot about them. We've got zombie tigers, we've got smart zombies, and we've got this shitty like shambler normal zombies. So let's get into it. Anyway, as we see the team venture in, we see this person out of focus here looking down on them with a head on a spike, and I believe this is like the zombie king, or at least one of the scouts for the Army of the Dead, as they're on the top of the Statue of Liberty. Obviously not the real Statue of Liberty, it's the one that's in Las Vegas, as they're like scouting out these intruders now into their land. And I just think it's so cool that they're actually going for this really proper smart zombie concept, but we do still have the classic zombies in there, and then we're obviously going to have animal zombies as well. I'm really happy they're doing this. This just looked like a zombie film that we've never seen before. It's just not going to be your run-of-the-mill run-and-gun type zombie film. Even though there's going to be balls-to-the-wall action, there's going to be really interesting concepts and new things done with the zombies, and I can't wait to see what they do. Anyway, we see the team get all tense, Tig Notaro hunkering down, as we see Cruz hunkering down as well, as they look like they're preparing some sort of stand. And then in the opposite shot facing them, we see the alpha zombies. Zack called them the alpha zombies, and he said basically they treat them like wolves. They hunt in packs, they're smart, they can talk to one another, open doors, communicate, climb, everything like that. So yeah, these are going to be the real dangerous zombies, as we see one of them on top of this ATV kind of thing, and then another one marching down over rubble there. And we see this character lying on the floor here with some blood around him. I believe this might actually be Theo Rossi's character, and if it is, that's a damn shame, because I like Theo Rossi. You know, he's a good guy. I like him from Sons of Anarchy. He's playing a character called Burt Cummins, and it really doesn't look like Burt is going to have the best of times as we see him throughout this trailer. We then see Mikey Guzman in absolute awe of these alpha zombies. Maybe he's not seen ones like this before. Maybe he is a good zombie killer, but when it comes to shamblers, not alphas, so he could be out of his depth here, as we see Lily telling him to shush. She's had a bit more experience in here. She knows about them. She knows how to deal with them. And man, we get a real nice close-up of these zombies, and holy shit, do they look menacing, man. They've got this like yellow pukey glue, kind of stains on their teeth, like dripping from their chin and stuff like that. This just gooey tinge to their mouths. Their eyes look all sore and puffy. They're all red and yellow. And then we see them like doing some really cool animalistic movements, high screeches and low growls. They're moving really cool, and they just look damn fucking menacing. And ZackSnyder was actually the DP in this film, along as being the director and a co-writer, obviously. And some of the shots he picks, some of the framing, stuff like that, they just look great, and he makes them look really menacing. And I can't wait to see more and more of these alpha zombies and what they can do, because holy shit, they're scary, man. This is one zombie apocalypse I would not feel confident in. We then get a shot of this hotel called the Olympus, and this looks like where the zombies have took up residence. The alpha zombies anyway. The shamblers look like they've made their way to the outskirts, towards the wall, trying to get out, probably following any noise they can, just shambling their way towards food. But the alphas look like they're a bit smarter, and they've set up this sort of defence here at this hotel, and this is like their HQ where they regroup, plan, and then go out and attack together, which is just fucking awesome. It makes them a proper army, and now the title of the movie makes sense. We then get some shots of Lily telling the team, you know, they're not what you think they are. They're smart, they're clever, they're stronger, they're faster, all that kind of stuff. And as she's telling the team this, we see this queen zombie. I'm just going to call her the queen, because to me she looks like the queen. And I'm pretty sure in the credits in IMDb there is someone called the queen. So I'm going to say she's the queen as she comes into the swimming pool area of the Olympus. You know, we see her rub heads with this one that I think's the king, because once again we see that staff with the head on it, and we do see him later on, and he looks pretty damn menacing. But I love how like they two are standing out, and the rest are, you know, just gathered around looking at them, waiting for orders, you know, being good servants. And we once again we see Burt Cummins on the floor here being held down by one of their subjects. As Lily's saying that, you know, they're faster, they're stronger, we actually see Scott throwing down with one. He's trying to stab it, but he cannot touch this thing. This thing is fast, and yeah, it looks like he's going to give him a real tough time. We also see another alpha zombie leap into the air as it's about to land on Garrett Dillahunt's character Martin, so he's definitely not in a good position there. He probably will come out on top, because this encounter looks like it's pretty early on in the film. But yeah, not a good position to be in, having one of these alpha zombies jump on top of you. But I really love the colour scheme they're going with them, that pure pale white skin. They look super sick, super dead, and that makes all the blood stand out more on them. It looks like a real, you know, flesh eater quartz type skin. If you're an Age of Sigmar or Warhammer fan, you'll get that. Especially this awesome fucking shot of the swimming pool in the Olympus. Once again, we see the king and the queen, you know, he's standing over a body there. They're doing something. They're up to something. They're smart. They're planning. They're plotting, you know. And then we just see this swimming pool. Instead of being filled with water, it's filled with mould and dismembered body parts and all sorts. So yeah, it looks like Bert's probably going to get ripped apart and eaten here, and then his remains thrown into the pool. And yeah, it's just a terrifying situation to be in. And once again, some awesome shots, some very nice cinematography. And as the king holds up his fist, it does look like maybe that other zombie there does take a bite as some blood flows down the side. So yeah, it doesn't look too good for this character, but I just really dig this concept and the look of this. It's a pure flesh eater corpse vibe. I'm a real big fan of that faction in Warhammer. If anyone, you know, is as well, let me know down in the comments, because I love movies and all of that as well. But yeah, this is just awesome, and the pool is terrifying. If I walked into that room, I'd probably just shoot myself, honestly. That's terrifying. But yeah, let me know what you all make of these smart zombies and how they are interacting with one another and how they're plotting and planning. I think it's awesome, personally. As the king zombie does roar out, we see the zombies mobilise as he takes off on a horse zombie. This is what we seen in that first trailer. Everyone who was saying, oh my god, there was a horse in that trailer, Jack, you missed it. You were alright, there is a horse that's running with the zombies, not away from them, and that's because it's a zombie itself being rode by the king. And Ludwig Dieter puts it best himself when he says, Scheiße. And then we see this really cool shot up close to the king. He's kind of got this helmet on, he looks like an orc from Middle Earth a little bit, and yeah, he looks badass with that giving out a war cry. As he does give out this war cry as well, we see all these alphas, you know, heading straight for the team, and you'll notice in the pack of them there is something else. Yes, that is a zombie tiger. We'll get onto that later. Here we just see the flip shot, the flip side of that, as they're all running, he's roaring, and a little bit more of Valentine the tiger there. And I just love how they move, I love the noise from them, and I would just absolutely be shitting myself if I seen this lot running at me, honestly. Make zombies terrifying again, that's what I say. And I really hope Army of the Dead does for zombies what 30 Days a Night done for vampires. Anyway, we see some of the zombies closing in on the team here. This guy on the right, I'm not too sure if he's a zombie or not. He gets up pretty slow. He's maybe a shambler, but to me, he looks like he could be a survivor, like a blackjack dealer or something like that. I'm not too sure, but let me know what you think if you've had a look at the trailer. Then we see this shot of the inside of a hotel, and at first I thought, oh, this is the flames coming in from the airstrike, but I don't think it is. It looks like someone's blown something up. I wonder if one of the characters throws their fuel canister and then shoots it or something like that to absolutely obliterate this zombie and this whole hallway. It's just a really cool, awesome shot again. Once again, ZackSnyder's amazing with action, and it looks like the zombie action here is going to be sick. Then we get a shot of this soldier here, and I believe these are the soldiers that were deployed out of Area 51. They were on a mission themselves, maybe to find those scientists we were talking about earlier. That's a possibility. I think they might be wanting to go in, find those scientists, or at least find their work, retrieve it and take it back to Area 51. Anyway, he's shooting at them with this huge caliber gun, and yeah, that's going to attract a lot of attention as we see some zombies making their way down those escalators. And we see zombie Elvis again. I love zombie Elvis. We've seen this in the first trailer. We see the plane coming in, bombing the Eiffel Tower, as it then falls on top of all these shamblers. The shamblers look like they're going to get taken out super easy in this film, which they should. It's going to be the alphas who cause the real trouble. Then we actually see Vanderho throwing down with the king zombie, and he gets bitch slapped and fucking flies. Like, he's sent flying. So it shows, you know, how powerful these zombies are, how strong and fast they are. We see a bag there, so this is obviously after they've gotten the money. Yeah, they're not going to get away easily for this one. Then we see Samantha Wynn's character Chambers absolutely surrounded. I have to say, it does not look good for her. She looks like she gets grabbed just before it cuts to the next shot. So Samantha Wynn fans, I'm sorry, but it looks like she's going to get killed here, and it's probably not going to be nice. Then we see Burt Cummins, Theo Ross's character, once again being dragged into another area of the Olympus. Maybe this is through before he gets dragged into the swimming pool area that we seen earlier. Sorry about the start, it's really late. When these trailers drop, it's like 3 AM my time down here in Australia. So yeah, if you are enjoying this, please drop it a like. It means a lot to me. It's tiring making these sometimes, but I love doing it. So yeah, let's go. Burt Cummins, we see him. He's holding something yellow. At first I thought they cable tied his hands together. They might have, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it does not look good for him as he screams and gets dragged through this big crowd of zombies who surely just want to rip him apart, but will not do so until the king says so. Obviously he wants to have a good look at him first for some reason, maybe find out who they are, something like that. Also do want to wonder if the zombies have like motives in this, if they want to escape Las Vegas, if they're happy staying there. I wonder what is going on inside their heads, and I think that'll be a very interesting concept to explore. We then see Huma Qureshi's character, Geeta. Sorry, I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm pretty shit with names sometimes. But she looks like she's looking out of the helicopter in the next shot, or she's looking up to the helicopter in the next shot. I'm not too sure yet. But to me, she looks pretty sick. Maybe she's immune, but she has got the virus. Maybe she could be a carrier. But she's just immune to it or something like that. Maybe they need her blood or something. Maybe that's what the soldiers were doing there. Who knows? But to me, she looks a bit, pale, under the weather. Looks like she's maybe turned into a zombie. I don't know. We don't know too much about her character yet. Maybe she's someone, who just got stuck there and they end up having to save her along the way. Anyway, this helicopter shot that I was talking about just before, we see it swerve this, weird looking building here. It looks like the top of Coca-Cola bottle or something like that. I'm not too sure what's going on. Looks like they might just be making an escape. Then we get some more shots of the Bly Casino sequence as, we see Lily and Batista, Scott Ward fighting side by side as more alphas run in, they're leaping about the place looking creepy as hell. These ones just look pale skinned though, they've not really got any blood on them, so maybe they're starving. Don't look like they've had a meal in a while anyway, or they're clean eaters, who knows. And then we see Scott Ward blasting this zombie away. This was actually the guy we saw getting blasted away in the behind the scenes set photo like 2 months ago maybe. So it's cool to see it, cool to see that it made it to the final film. Then we get probably one of my best favourite shots of the trailer as we see Vanderhoof using that buzzsaw, swiping at zombies and just causing an absolute mess as blood is splattering everywhere. I think he's going to be a badass in this movie, could steal the show, and it's nice to have someone alongside Batista who can be that big strong menacing guy as well. Then we see another shot that we saw in the first trailer again as that blue smoke is going off just before the airstrike comes in, and I believe it's one of the soldiers that calls this in just before he gets eaten. Probably would rather die in a napalm blast than getting eaten alive. I don't know, they're both pretty bad ways to go, but yeah, I think that's what's happening there. We then see the flip side, the repercussions of this as fire then spreads throughout this hotel casino as we see Batista barely make it into an elevator shaft before the flames kind of die off. Then after this, when it fades to black and it gives us a second to recoup, we are met with Valentine, the zombie tiger. I don't think anyone expected this, honestly. Zombie animals. I think when we all saw that horse, we thought, oh, maybe someone's just riding a horse to get away. But yeah, zombie animals. And Zack did say we could maybe expect more zombie animals. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see what we get in here. There's going to be apparently zombie dogs in the anime prequel. The anime prequel. There's going to be dogs in that. And he said birds are actually immune to this virus because he thought, birds having the virus would just be ridiculous because they would just spread it everywhere so fast. There's no point. So yeah, no birds can get the virus, but it looks like every other animal is on the cards. We then see some really nice shots of the team as we see Martin back to back with Mikey Guzman, and then back to back with Vanderhoof, who's just listening to some music while blasting zombies. I love that. We then see Chambers again, Samantha Wynn's character. Maybe she does make it out. She doesn't have that red jerry can on her back anymore, or maybe this is earlier on, but yeah, maybe she ditched the can, shot it, blew up those zombies and then got away. Maybe that's what explosion was earlier. There we then see Ludwig, beside Tig Notaro. And like I was saying earlier, her CGI looks good, doesn't look like they've superimposed her there, looks natural to me at least. Let me know what you make of it though. As we see them all back to back in this big circular, Avengers style shot as they take on the zombie hordes that come towards them. Then we see that more of that smoke from that soldier as, oh my god, he's being swamped by zombies. He would be picked to the bone if he didn't call in that airstrike. But it looks like he's going to get, a pretty decent feed from calling it in. He's going to clear off a lot of these shamblers. Maybe that's just what the army wanted them to do, just clear as many as possible, dwindle their numbers down a bit. But, as I said, the shamblers aren't the dangerous ones, the alphas are. Then right at the very end we get this awesome shot of Valentine again. If Valentine dies we riot. Honestly, this thing is so cool, and he's kind of cute in a morbid kind of way. We see the zombie king behind him on his dead steed, holding up his spear, screaming out commands, and it's just badass. Honestly, I was not expecting this at all. I was expecting slow zombies and fast zombies. That was it. Not zombie tigers and, actual smart zombies that act like an actual army. And, Army of the Dead, it might have seemed pretty obvious, but it didn't to me. To me, I just thought, Army of the Dead just meant there's going to be lots of dead people, looking to eat people. But no, they look like an actual organised army, and I can't wait to see the zombie dynamics and the power struggle and, just like the hierarchy, the zombie hierarchy. It's going to be really fascinating, and I think it's a really cool concept that makes this zombie movie stand out against others. I mean, obviously the heist action side of it does as well, but this is just sorry about that. This is just more layers to that cake. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think Army of the Dead looks amazing. I'm so ready to see it. I really hope a theatre near me has it. We do know it's coming to select theatres a week before its release on Netflix, similar to like Godzilla vs Kong and Mortal Kombat with HBO. A little bit similar to that, with it releasing just a little bit after a theatrical run. But let me know in the comments what you made of this trailer. Are you a big fan of it? Are you a fan of Zack Snyder? Are you a fan of zombie movies? Are you keen for a heist zombie movie? Do you like the smart zombies, going the way that Romero was going with his later zombie movies? And there was a little hint during the live Q&A. People were mentioning Romero always teased, his zombies were created by something that fell from space, all that kind of stuff. And Zack, he kind of closed up a little bit. He actually looked a little bit flustered for a second, and that said to me that, yup, this is it. These zombies were created from a virus that came from out of space. Either was brought here on purpose by aliens to take us all out before they, take the planet from us, or, it was unwittingly brought here by aliens by the crash in Roswell or something like that. And, something's been taken, or a meteorite's been taken to Area 51. There's been something on it. It's got out, it's got loose, and it's wreaking havoc. And I really, really, really dig that, and I couldn't be more excited to see the origins of this virus and just all the shit it causes, basically. So yeah, let me know what you made of all this. If you enjoyed the video, please do like it, and if you're new here, please do subscribe. As always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.